So, as a writer and, you know, as someone who's been involved in local politics, how important do you think this is to the future of Sefton, this kind of creative industries and people getting involved in things?
I think, and it was a good friend of ours, mutual friend of ours, Ralph James, who actually said it to me. He said, you know, we need to get things down in writing because we're probably the last to remember, you know, the 1960s, the 1950s, and he said, and you're not taught this in school, you know, and it's like local history. You're not taught about, you're taught maybe, you know, like in national history, you know, but you're not taught about local history and things that happen locally. And he said, who's going to tell our stories when we're not there? And the stories that I'm telling, the stories that, you know, should have maybe been told many years ago. When I'd done research about the local area, I thought I was a guru on Sefton and Orrell, being a Sefton councillor in Orrell from 1994 to October 2022. I thought I knew it all. But I learned when I became mayor of Sefton in 1999-2000, millennium year, I learned more about Sefton when I was the mayor. And I think everyone should have a stint to be mayor because you do learn a lot more. Having said that, I work in the community voluntary sector with Sefton CVS, and I've learned more about Sefton through working with Sefton CVS because they are the ears on the ground. So, and I think when I look at, you know, local issues, I mean, I was astounded by the fact that we had a Conservative MP, you know, before the war. And in my fourth book, which has now just been published, actually been published yesterday, I'm waiting to order some copies. The MP for Bootle in Kinley, who came in 1945 with the Labour landslides, he was the first Labour councillor for Orrell Ward in 1910. So that was something which I found out. So it's I'm following the footstep of giants, and you know, and I think little things like that. I mean, I've educated myself through a bit of research. And it's nice to know that the people that feature in my book, though it's a fictional history book, but I name obviously the MP, the Tory MP, because he figures in one of the fictional families, and they go to see the MP. And then I mentioned obviously 1945 and put in about, you know, Kinley winning the seat. But it's quite humbling to think, good grief, this is a man who was stood for what was then the very socialist Labour Party and won their first Orrell Ward seat. When I won it in 1994, I mean, I took over from previous Labour councillors, never known its history, though an old friend of mine, a stalwart of the trade union movement, Kenny Jones, had once told me that this was always a Conservative seat, and it had been up and probably till the 1980s. So yeah, writing a book and researching has opened my eyes to a lot as well. So it's going back to what Ralph said. If you don't get it down in writing and it's not there and it's not in the history books, it's on the history books, so it's not there, and you know, well, people aren't going to know these things. So